honored guests. Much has been reported and distorted about what the MV Rachel Corrie and the MV Marmara experienced. And before any action can be taken, we have to apprise ourselves of the facts, clear up the misconceptions, and more importantly, understand for ourselves what motivated the outcome. We present eyewitness accounts of the actual incidents. And to moderate our first session, it is my privilege to call upon Yang Berhormat Datuk Mukhris Mahathir, the Deputy Minister of International Trade and Industry and advisor to the Perdana Global Peace Organization. I would also like to invite the speakers of this session to join Datuk Mukhris up on stage, and he will introduce the speakers.
Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Very good morning to all of you. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for being here this morning. It's a very important occasion. We have very many things to discuss and to talk about. You have heard the first expose delivered by Amat Bahagia Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, and we will continue on this tone in that there are very many things actually that are still lingering on our minds about what actually happened on the flotilla that was heading towards Gaza. As we well know, for many of you who have been surfing the web, looked at some of the interviews on YouTube, you will see that the incessant propaganda conducted particularly by Israel, supported also by the Western media, has been very much one-sided, painting a very different picture from the actual truth as experienced by the members of the flotilla. Hence, this morning, in this first session, we have a number of very distinguished guests who will be speaking to you about their own experiences. Members from Mavi Marmara, from MV Rachel Corrie are here with us today. And we will get to see then what actually happened, what was behind these actions, and how did our people conduct themselves in the face of such adversity. I will not take too much time, but I must introduce to you the distinguished speakers that we have this morning. Let me start by introducing the fine gentleman on my right. For those of you who have been participating in PGPO's programs these past few years, you would find him familiar. Mr. Dennis Halliday is the former Assistant Secretary General of the United Nations. He was the UN's humanitarian coordinator in Iraq from September 1st, 1997 until 1998. A recipient of the Gandhi International Peace Award in recognition of his work drawing attention to the plight of the Iraqis. He is a member of the PGPO International Advisory Panel. He is no stranger to Malaysia, as I said. He has been coming to Kuala Lumpur regularly for meetings with PGPO and to speak at our public forums. And Dennis Halliday was also on board the MV Rachel Corrie. On my immediate left is Jenny Graham, former Irish member of the Free Gaza movement. She used to be based in Cyprus, doing groundwork for FGM, or Free Gaza Movement, previous sea missions to Gaza. The recent flotilla was her first time on an aid mission, and she had packed all her belongings in Cyprus to set up home in Gaza, where she planned to start a sailing school for the locals. She is now homeless, following the hijacking of Rachel Corrie by the Israeli Defense Force. Next to Mr. Holiday is Dr. Hassan Hussein Usal, an ophthalmologist practicing in Konya in Turkey. He is a member of the Turkish NGO IHH. He participated for the first time in the mission to Gaza as a regular civil society member. He was one of the doctors tending to the injured on the Mavi Marmara after Israeli soldiers opened fire on crew members using live ammunition. Some may identify him as the doctor seen on YouTube treating an injured Israeli soldier on Mavi Marmara. Next to Jenny is our own Ashwat Ismail, broadcast journalist from Astro Awani, 24 years old and has been a journalist for 3 years. He is a part-time political science student and he identifies himself now as an ex-detainee of Beersheba Prison, Israel, cell number 5226. Next to Dr. Hassan is the interpreter. Thank you very much. And on my far right, again, is a very familiar face, Professor Michel Chossudovsky, Director of the Center for Research on Globalization in Canada. He is also a member of the PGPO International Advisory Panel. He has advised governments of developing countries and has served as a consultant in several international agencies such as the UN Development Programme or UNDP, WHO, and the International Labour Organization. Malaysians who have been attending PGPO's forums will be familiar with him as he has spoken at all of PGPO's forums since 2005. Since we have actually somewhat limited time, about an hour, 10 minutes or so, I will ask that our speakers limit their presentation to perhaps about 7 minutes, if you don't mind. Is that too short? And then we'll allow for another round of points before we open up to some question and answer from the audience. If I may, can I start from the extremes first before moving inwards? We can start with perhaps Professor Michel Chossudovsky first. Do you mind? We'll give you 7 minutes and then we'll work ourselves inwards. Mr. Chossudovsky, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm extremely honored to address this important venue. I believe I'm the only person on this panel who was not a witness to the atrocities committed by the Israeli commando. I was following these events as they unfolded and focusing also on the media coverage of this event. I was spiritually in contact with my friends on the Rachel Corrie. There are many aspects, complex aspects to this military intelligence operation. I would like to follow up on a couple of central issues in the limited time that we have. One, I can say unequivocally, the United States was behind this operation. Unequivocally. And that is extremely important in our understanding.